Damn. Damn. That's all I got to say about that game. I they had an ideal opportunity and it was wasted in Minnesota to tie this thing up, change the momentum going back home, and they let it slip through their fingers. And there's plenty of reasons why that happened, and they're all correctable, but it might be a little too late. I'm your host, Ryan Ward, and welcome to the Jello Jiggling podcast. And the Lakers are now facing a 3-1 series deficit against the Minnesota Timberwolves, heading back to LA for game 5. I believe it's Wednesday. So there's a couple days to to digest what just happened and soak it all up and get pissed off and throw things and break TVs and laptops and phones and all that crap. It's frustrating is the word that comes to mind, because it was a game the Lakers probably should have won. They should have. They seem to have the edge. They seem to be the better team in a sense, I guess you would say today. But they just mistakes and some pretty glaring problems that I think is really going to weigh heavily on JJ Redick moving forward. So apparently, JJ did not make one substitution for the entire second half, and I believe that's historic. I should have jotted down exactly what it was. Like I think it was the modern era or something. The first coach to ever do that in this era or whatever. But I mean, wow. And I was saying it through the game. I was tweeting about it. So you can't lean on 4 guys to take down another team in the playoffs. It's just the bench was awful. I mean, it just was nothing. They got 6 points off the guys from the bench, and it was one player. It was Dorian Finney-Smith. That was it. I think hit 2 threes, and that was it. Literally nothing else from anybody else. I mean, they weren't really given a chance in the second half. Jackson Hayes got the boot after 4 minutes. I don't know why JJ keeps starting that guy. I really don't. He brings nothing to the table. He had a lob for the first time maybe in weeks today, and I thought, oh, that'll get him going. Luka found him on a lob early in the game. Of course, it had to be early because he only played 4 minutes. And I was like, okay, cool. There's that lob threat that's been missing for forever, it feels like. And just disappeared after that. Just disappeared. I think there's so many guys on this team that are so bad defensively that it just kind of ruins any chance that they have to beat good teams. I mean, you look at Minnesota, they got guys off the bench that can kill you. Naz Reid, probably number 1. Dante DiVincenzo, number 2. Nikhil Walker-Alexander, 3. Even though he didn't do much today, but the other 2 definitely did. They hit huge shots. They were pivotal, and then in this team pulling off the comeback. And then there was Anthony Edwards, who went insane, 43 points, game high 43 points. He played down the stretch in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. It looks like he slipped, and there was this crazy view that I have never seen in an NBA game, directly on top, looking down on LeBron supposedly fouling him on this play. It looked like just one of those freak things that happens on a basketball court. You know, there's a sweat spot that the ball boys or whatever you call those guys that wipe up the floors, that they just missed, or somebody's just sweating profusely because it's at the end of the game and everybody's dripping in sweat. I mean, you can't get it all right. And it's so it just looked like Anthony Edwards on the way to the basket on the left side. He just slipped. It looked like he just slipped, and the ball went off of him. And I thought the big thing was, who the ball go off, either because LeBron was guarding him, right? Who the ball go off, and it's pretty clear it went off of Edwards, right? It was like one of those things. Okay, well, they're going to challenge it, they're going to check it, but everybody already knows what the answer is going to be. No, that's not what happened. They found out that LeBron had a hand on top of Anthony Edwards' hand, And if you look at it in real time, like quick speed, yeah, LeBron is kind of like swiping down and hitting him like that. But LeBron denied it after the game, said like hands part of the ball. And, that's a famous basketball saying that everybody says forever, especially pickup, right? It's hands part of the ball and the game gets physical. And he's not totally wrong. It's just one of those things, like the refs just, they put that on, then it changed the whole game. But that wasn't just there. There was another play, Luka coming up the court, and I think it was McDaniels guarding him, and guarding him up close. Just the way this whole series has been played. In fact, like damn near every playoff series has been like this, where everybody's playing hard nosed defense and getting super physical, and that's what happened. He gets about half court, and he falls over, right? And you couldn't really see it in real. At least I didn't see it in real time. Exactly what happened. I just thought he fell over. I didn't think he got tripped or anything like that. But you look at the replay, and he steps on McDaniel's foot and falls over. So that's still technically tripping because it's not McDaniel's is not giving him the space to move, right? So it was a huge missed call because Minnesota got the ball after that. But it was a lot of stuff like that going on, and then there was guys struggling. Rui played great. That's the best game I think maybe I've ever seen from Rui. In a big moment, I think he hit 5 threes. He was just hitting good shots, and he's playing well defensively too, which I've given Rui a lot of crap lately because I think he's from an basketball IQ standpoint, I don't think he's very sharp, right? But he's still talented, and he's kind of got a little bit of ice in his veins because these shots he was hitting were tough shots, and he was nailing them, and he was one of the most dependable guys on the floor. And it sucks that kind of got ruined because I honestly, you give the game ball to him after the game if they win this game, right? And they, even up the series and breathe new life into the Lakers moving forward. But obviously that didn't happen, and which sucks. So his performance got ruined. LeBron played really well outside of some costly mistakes in the fourth, fouling Edwards in that play, which honestly could have gone either way. Is this thing like slowly falling down, or am I tripping? I don't know. Every time I look at this, like it's a little bit lower. But anyway, tighten that real quick. But yeah, so there was that play. But I thought the really costly one was the inbounds play, which totally brought me back to that game against Chicago, where just the whole game went to it just got destroyed because of LeBron's lazy inbounds pass. And this was very similar. I mean, you look at it and you're like, that's an experienced, very talented passer doesn't make that pass. Like he tried to force it into Luka on the other side where the defender's at, not where Luka's at. And I'm like, what are you doing? It seemed like a panic pass that a rookie would make or an inexperienced player in the playoffs, not LeBron James, who's played for 22 years. Like I was like, dude, not right now. Like lift it up, throw it up in the air. Don't bounce pass it on the defender's side with somebody guarding you on the inbounds pass. It just seemed silly to me. I looked at it over and over, and I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I can't do it. It was so bad. And you just don't make those mistakes at this point in the game. LeBron played great. Yes, he's played great the last 2 games. But then you make mistakes like that, and in my perspective, that kind of just ruins it. You're just like, well, why can't you carry what you did over there here in the most important play of the game, or at least one of them down the stretch there. And then it was just, Edwards just was too much. I honestly think this is kind of like his coming out party. This is his ascension to real superstar status. I mean, he's already there, but now he's going to grab the attention of a lot of people. If they go on to win this series, and the way it's looking, that's what's going to happen. Because the Lakers have to take it 7 just to have a chance to win. He's going to go to another level. And then if he does the same thing against Houston or Golden State, and it's looking like it's going to be Golden State, then who knows where it goes from there for that guy. I mean, I don't think anybody's stopping OKC. I think OKC is a juggernaut, and they're just too damn good, and they're going to beat anybody that's in their path. Even the Clippers and Denver, that was an insane game last night too. I don't know if you guys saw that with Jokic tried like a fadeaway 3 or something at the buzzer, and Gordon saw it from a mile away and just turn it into an alley-oop. And Jokic admittedly said that wasn't a pass after the game, but it was incredible. That's a hell of a series. That's probably the best series going on right now. But whoever they face, or whoever comes out of that series, I don't think they're going to be able to match up with OKC. And then on the other side, it's either Cleveland or Boston. I don't see anybody else going anywhere. But that's besides the point. That's getting ahead of ourselves here. But only 4 players the Lakers are counting on. Hayes had 2 points just from that lob I was saying about it earlier. DFS had 6 off the bench. No one else scored on the bench. It's just not sustainable. You can't win basketball games like this, and you can't win in the playoffs. You can't win series like this. Because like even if they get to the next series, somehow they get to 7 and they win. They're not going to win the next series. And it just, these guys are going to get gassed. I mean, this was Tom Thibodeau-esque in terms of just playing, starters and stars and not like even giving guys off the bench a chance. Like, I mean, all I see now is don't connect. We got to get don't connect in there. Why isn't he getting minutes? Yada, yada, yada. Well, it's because he can't play defense. That's why. But the thing is, most of these guys can't play defense on the team. It's just it's a collective problem that is not going to get fixed right now. It's going to get fixed in the summer if they can fix it, right? They have zero rim protection. They have absolutely no depth on the bench. And this was the most in your face example of that, right? Like JJ's going to get a ton of crap over the next couple of days because of this. And it's going to be the first, like I even said this on a few pods a while back, like he hasn't been tested this way yet, right? Where all eyes are on you. It's playoffs, it's do or die, and you're against teams that are not going to take it easy in any way, shape, or form. They want to win and destroy you every single game. And it's all about adjustments. You have to make adjustments. Well, not subbing guys out for an entire half against a team like Minnesota is not making an adjustment. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I mean, they came out, they played well in the third quarter. They did, which is is very uncharacteristic for this Lakers team. But you just can't lean on guys let's see what the minutes were. I mean, I know they're ridiculous, but let's see the final minutes. Okay. Jesus, it's even worse than I thought. Okay, so Reeves played 35 minutes, and that's the least of the starters outside of Hayes' 4 minutes, which is just ridiculous. Dorian Finney-Smith basically played starter minutes. He played 41 off the bench. You had Goodwin played 7. You had Vanderbilt played 7, and then Gabe Vincent played 13, and they're all negatives outside of Goodwin, who was a +1. And then you got Rui played 41. LeBron James, 40-year-old LeBron James played 46 minutes, and Luka played 46 minutes after coming off of a stomach bug or whatever the hell they're calling what illness he had. It was probably food poisoning or something. But you can't do that. You can't sustain that. I mean, yes, they're gonna have 2 days off, but this kind of loss is the kind of loss that devastates the team, right? Because it was a flawed final quarter for all parties involved, from the coach all the way down to whoever got on the floor. Well, obviously it was just Rui, LeBron, DFS, Luka, and Austin Reeves. It's so hard to come away with this anything optimistic from this game because it was just awful. It was just I mean, it was cool to see Luka back being Luka. Luka was back being Luka. He looked good. He looked like as if he hadn't gotten sick, right? And he was back to form. He was hitting shots. I mean, team high 38 points, 5 for 12 from deep, perfect from the line, 7 for 7. But this also shows you the defense here. 2 assists from Luka Doncic. 2 assists. He couldn't get anybody involved because the defense is just suffocating with these guys, and it just limits him to being a scorer, right? And not much else. He had 1 rebound. This guy averages 8, and he averages 8 assists. I mean, LeBron made up for it in that category. He was 2 assists shy of a triple double, and he had 3 steals and 3 blocks. Like I said, you played really well. It's just those turnovers the turnover in the end, and then that foul on Edwards, which I kind of give him a pass on that because, like I said, you crazy overhead angle that no one's ever seen before. At least I haven't. I just thought that was wild, but it's all in all, LeBron played great. Just that one play was really cringeworthy, and I'm still shocked that a guy of his caliber makes that kind of play. Right? I mean, they wouldn't be in this game if it weren't for what he did. Right? They just wouldn't. All these guys, Rui's shots, his big shots, his 5 threes. Reeves had his moments, but he wasn't great again. He 5 personal fouls. He was still a +5, which is better than any starter, which is kind of crazy. But and he went 5 for 12 from deep, so same as Luka, and 6 for 14. I mean, I don't even think he scored in the first half. I think this all came in the second half. So, and then his defensive deficiencies too. It's just mounting, and Minnesota's clearly figured these guys out, and they know how to beat them. And Minnesota is incredibly resilient, right? Like it felt like a game the Lakers should win, but at the same time, every time you thought the Lakers were going to go on a run and just put them away, Minnesota came back. They just, it's because they have so many dudes, so many guys that they can depend on, right? They got Nas, they got Jaden McDaniels, they got DiVincenzo, Edwards, Randall, and Gobert has his moments, even though I think Gobert is, I don't know if washed is too harsh a word, but he still had 10 boards. You know what I mean? He had 10 boards, 5 points. That guy's a complete zero offensively, but it's still impacted the game to a certain extent. I mean, you can't say that for Hayes, you can't. So it's just there's too many guys, and Connolly too, and he only had 2 points, but he affects the game in a different way, right? He's just your traditional point guards, like guys you don't really see in the league very much anymore. He's the kind of guy you look at the stats, and you're like, well, that guy didn't do anything. But if you watch the game, you see little things here and there. I mean, he's a basketball player. He's skilled in so many ways and incredibly fundamental. And he got hurt too, so he only played 25 minutes. Kind of it could be a nasty injury. It could be one of those. That's another thing I got to say. Dame Lillard looks like he tore his Achilles tonight, and I watched and I saw it, and I knew right away that's probably what it was. And it's just like most people, it was a non-contact freak moment. Like, he's in kind of a resting position at the top of the key, and the ball gets bounced out to him, I think, on a rebound, and Dame just kind of pushed it to somewhere else because his leg just gave up on him. And you could just tell it looks like, it's these kind of, when this happens, it's like somebody shot them from the stands, shot their leg. And he just went down like a ton of bricks, and he couldn't get up. He had to wait for somebody to help him up, and you could see it on his face. He wasn't in crazy pain. He just knew he had done something really bad, injury wise, severe. And then Chris Haynes reported saying that they fear that it's an Achilles. Whenever they say that, they already know. They just don't want to, get too crazy with it. But it is what it is. It's just terrible. I feel so bad for the guy because I love that guy's game. Even though he's a Laker killer, just destroys the Lakers whenever he plays them. I got nothing but respect for him because he seems like a good dude. I've heard nothing but good things about him, and he's a killer, and he's one of the few guys that, in today's game, it's kind of got like an old school kind of feel to him. He's a Raiders fan, so I love him too there. We both have the same sickness, rooting for that team. But it's just a shame because he worked his way back from the blood clot issue that everybody thought that he was done for the year. And then he gets back, and then this happens. It's just like he can't win. Like it's one of those things like, Kobe when he was trying to get back. I mean, it's not apples to apples, but, Kobe was just dealing with injury after injury. It was his elbow, it was his shoulder, his knee, his, just everything. I think there's that famous picture of him on the bench where he's literally got almost every part of his body wrapped in an ice pack. Right. And I felt like Dame wasn't at that level, but he just kept having these setbacks. And I think last year, too. I think him and Giannis were out of the playoffs, right? Because of injury. Um, and it just happens again. It's like, damn. And I don't think uh they were going to advance anyway. I think Indiana just kind of has their number, and Milwaukee's just not that good. Um, it just sucks because he's going to lose all next year too. It takes forever for an Achilles to get back to normal, and the conditioning and everything that goes with it. I mean, I saw it with Kobe, like we all did. And it's gotten, I think, the doctors and such, and how they deal with it now is it's easier, or not easier. I shouldn't say easier. It's just the process is speeded up a little bit more. Like with Aaron Rodgers, I guess, is a good example of that. But I don't think players are ever the same after this happens. There may be a few exceptions, but um, I just, it sucks, man. It's because that guy's an all timer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, even if he doesn't play another game. I think I think he was on the All 75 team. Um, it's just a bummer. It's a bummer all around. The only really positive thing that happened for me today was Liverpool won the Premier League, and I was ecstatic about that. But I knew that was going to happen for a while. I think everybody did, because they were just so far ahead of everybody. But that's the only cool thing. I wake up to that, and then this disaster, and then Dame. I'm just like, damn, dude, what a crappy day, man. Crappy day for sports. But yeah, so it's not. I mean, are they cooked? Possibly. I'd say that the percentage of that being true is probably 75. It's really hard to come back from a deficit like this. Like, are they going to get the win on Wednesday? I would bet on it. Yes, I would say that's going to happen. And it could be one of those things where they blow them out. They blow out Minnesota, and there's all this momentum again. But then they go back to Minnesota and get their ass kicked. It's just, I've seen that happen before, many times before. It's almost like a trap game scenario, but that's the way it plays out, right? Like they get all this confidence, they think they're still in it, and they get humbled when they go back to the opponent's home, and that arena in Minnesota, they're loud. I mean, I like to go there just to see what that atmosphere is like. I always like going to because I've been to Staples so many times covering games, and I've seen it at its worst, and I've seen it at its best, right? And I've gone to cover it in Denver, and I've seen that and the height of that, especially last year with the first round of the playoffs when Jamal Murray hit those insane shots over AD, right? That place was rocking and absolutely totally loud. And I think some places are just, have a higher level of intensity than others. Like OKC, I'm sure that's crazy. I would love to go to New York and see what that's like. I would like to go to every arena and just experience it, right? But it seems like Minnesota's got something going on there. Like they've got a passionate fan base, and you could feel that today, and the last game for that matter. But trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, it was a bad foul from Reeves, like an and one situation on McDaniels that kind of was unnecessary. Like I always say, it was one of those plays where like Reeves knew he was going to foul him in a sense. If you know that, you do everything in your power to make sure he doesn't finish. Make sure he doesn't score that bucket. Yes, he's going to the line, fine. But scoring that bucket is just a killer. And that's exactly what happened. And it was just a lot of mistakes like that. It was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. I mean, obviously, Ant-Man, they've got nobody that can stop that guy. It's just the same with Luka. They've got nobody that can stop him. But it's just a shame. It's a real bummer, man. And it's going to be a true test for JJ heading back to LA. He's got to make some serious adjustments because he's going to be under fire the next couple of days. There's going to be a lot of people questioning his decision making, and this is going to be brought up every time. He didn't sub anybody out in the second half. Like, what was he thinking? Yada yada yada. It's going to be on all the talking head shows. It's going to be headlines on ESPN. It's just, that's the way it's going to be because that's how it goes, right? And they're justified because it is a weird thing to do. I don't understand it. Yes, you don't have great depth, but you have to depend on these guys. You got to show them different looks here and there, or else teams are really going to hone in on you and beat you. And that's exactly what happened. So it's bad. It's as bad as you think it is. But there is still light at the end of the tunnel. They get a win on Wednesday, and it can shift things. It's all hopes and dreams right now. Unfortunately, that's the only positive thing we got going for us. It's just got to be optimistic. You got to hope that this team is as good as what you think it is. And if not, you're going to go in the summer with a lot of crap and a lot of baggage and a lot of like, okay, what needs to be done now? And yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. It's just it's an unfortunate. I really thought they were going to win this game. I really did. They just kept shooting themselves in the foot, and this is the end result. And you got a young, hungry team that prides themselves defensively with a bona fide superstar leading the way. It's kind of the perfect recipe to beat this team, beat the Lakers, and it sucks, but there's always a chance to rebound. And let's just hope that's where it goes. But until Wednesday, you're going to hear a lot of crap. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. It's going to be nonstop and it's going to be obnoxious. It's just the way it goes. But we got it. We got another game. Everything on the line. Win or go home. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. If not, and we'll just see where it goes. But until then, keep your heads up, Laker fans, and we'll get this win.